Alright, salutations. The name is Kevlar Kes. Today we're doing episode 4 of Just Cruising. With me, next to me, is the man, the myth. I would like you to please introduce yourself to the audience.
My name is Daniel Adegboyega.
That's a Nigerian name, bro.
Yeah.
Adegboyega.
Adegboyega. You know, I was born over there, came over here when I was 5. Yeah, I grew up in London, man, South London. I was in London for 6 years when I came over from Nigeria, and then after that I was in Newbury for another 6 years, and then came back to London. So I'm actually a bit of a Newburyan. Newbury is
white boy Newbury.
White boy Newbury. but I'm a
Newbury.
Yeah. Well, we didn't know it was posh back then because we just knew it was a school for naughty boys from London. So, but yeah, Berkshire was, and now I'm older. I miss it, and I have so much appreciation for it.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful place. It was peaceful. Loads of, trees and grass and things. I am a city boy, but I do have a bit of appreciation for the countryside.
There's no such thing as countryside that sucks. Every side that's country is very, very nice.
Yeah.
Very down to earth, very laid back.
Just chilled, man.
It's so chill. Yeah. It's beautiful.
Yeah. The city. Everybody knows what the city is. You're here to make money. You're here to hustle. And because of that, the city can be very harsh. If you're lucky, you can make money, but the city is I always tell people, like, if you've been to New York, London and New York, they're sister cities, man. People were hustling, looking for the money, looking for the dollar, and somebody will throw you under the bus just to get ahead. So that's the city, that's city life. But the country
isn't so. It's
just chill. It's just really
nice. It's like basically saying city life, you lack. There's no connectivity.
Oh no. No.
Everyone's chasing the bank.
Everybody's chasing the bank, and everybody's trying to, because a lot of the people that I know that have made money have moved to the country. I've made my money. What am I saying in London?
The sticks. Yeah, it's true.
So
it's true. You're right. I used to work for a company back in the day. I was a delivery driver. I used to deliver furniture, and they had their shop in the West End, but their warehouse was somewhere in the East. So we go to the shop, pick up the list, go to the warehouse, pick up the furniture, and then we deliver it to houses in the countryside.
Yeah.
And I love that job because it was me, my truck, my furniture. I drive miles, just miles. I'll drive for 4 hours just to put down the sofa.
Yeah.
And I actually enjoyed it because I was my own boss.
Yeah.
I'm on the road, just driving, just cruising.
Yeah.
Gonna go here, there, and everywhere. It was beautiful. And the countryside, dude.
Yeah. There's a lot of those logistic drivers. They make stupid money. I know a guy that did literally from Land's End to John O'Groats. He literally did the length of the country. And I think he had a number of stops, and he just had so many stories to tell me. From the top of the country to the bottom, and he made good money. He did it for years.
I used to drive, like, I took the longest, the furthest delivery.
Really?
So I was like,
just so you were in the car by yourself for that long time.
I loved the open road, the motorway.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, cool. Scotland, yes.
Let's go.
So I'd leave London at, say, 4 a.m. Just drive Scotland.
Just drive, that's it.
7 hours, 7.5 hours, just drive.
Peace.
Me, myself, and I just drive. And this is days before there was a thing called podcast. So there wasn't any kind of like 4-hour thing to listen to.
Just drive.
Me on the road.
How did you manage it? Because did you have to have regular stops? Because man, for me, I start getting sleepy. Especially at night. Day driving is fine, but night driving,
It was, well, how do I put it for you? I liked it. Obviously, you need stops. If you can handle it, regular stops. So you have all your service centers. Pull over, you get your coffee, look at the weather. If you need a rest, you can rest, you can sleep. But I was used to it. One of the guys that trained me, right? He was crazy. I know you should know do this with driving, but he was so adept at driving that he had no brakes.
He had no brakes.
No brakes. He would basically home cook his food at home. Everything is there. So he's driving. When he's hungry, he just puts his feet there in Phillips fries, just driving, boom, just not blink, nothing. We're talking to you, but just like boom, there's nothing.
I mean,
soldier, man.
Yeah, I mean, not probably advisable, but I get it. I mean, there's a certain level of skill that you probably acquire when you've been doing that for so long. You know what I mean? But still dangerous.
Very, very dangerous. I will say it to all the kids, don't try this at home. You can't be driving a truck. Keep doing that. No. Yeah, so next query. What is it that you do? What's your background? My background, my forte is I'm a jack of all trades, actually.
Yeah.
You know how it is, man.
We're in the city.
We've done it all.
We're in the city. We have to be a jack of all trades. So you can't not, unless you're lucky, you can't not be in the city and not have your finger in a number of different pies. You'd be a fool if you didn't. Because again, the city kind of forces you to be that way. You have to hustle. You have to do a number of different things. Unless you're lucky, unless you're born into something quite well-to-do, or your career's just taken off with no real.
But that's like 5%
resistance.
of the population.
Yeah, of course. But that's the point. That's what I mean. The city, you have to find a way to make bank. You got to find a way.
It's like that saying. Jack of all trades, right?
Master of none.
But here's what's interesting. It's incomplete. Because the jack of all trades, master of none, is still better than the master of one.
Yes, I agree. I do agree with that. Yes. Because at least you've got a number of different avenues you can explore, as opposed to trying to, I'm just in this one thing and that's it.
Now, guess what? It's actually deeper than that. Because if I give you the root of everything, it's gonna be ugly. Because that's the thing that was told to those out there who were trying to break that glass wall, the glass ceiling.
Okay.
So, example, and again, it's the time, the era that was said. So let me say 1875. 1910. I see you, Nubian, right?
Yeah.
I see you, Nubian, doing this, doing that, selling cards, doing this, doing 1,000 things. You see what I'm saying? Doing 5 or 6 things to make ends meet, to break out of that cycle, and I'm not Nubian.
And you don't want me to have it.
Boom! Okay. And I'll say to you, okay, buddy.
Yeah,
jack of all trades.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
and all you want to do is to be a master.
Yeah. And so it's more insidious. You're saying it's more insidious than
Sit down there.
Right. Do you know what? It's very similar to the. It's very similar to the work hard thing. Work hard. Because
yes.
For the longest time, even you can see it everywhere today. Everybody likes to espouse that they work hard and they're hardworking, work harder. Work hard. And the funny thing is, I fell for it. Yeah, I did. I'm not gonna lie. I fell for it. I was for the longest time. I went to all of these business seminars and sort of guru meeting things that would teach you, work hard, hard work. And if you knew me back then, I would have had to introduce myself to you as somebody who worked hard. 10 minutes after talking to me, I would have said, I'm a hard worker. I work hard. And not just that, I probably work harder than you.
Boom.
So this whole hard work thing has been a staple part of society for so long. and a lot of people fall for it. What I've now learned as I've gotten older is work smart, right? Because working smart will always trump working hard. Now, most people won't tell you to work hard, to work smart. Every time you go to these gurus and stuff, every single one of them tells you work hard, hard work. And if the thing is, the reason why I tell you that is because if you're so busy, if I can get you busy, keep you busy working hard over there, you're too busy working hard to notice me working smart over here.
Is recorded on 2 separate tracks,
So
each one giving special emphasis to certain sections of the orchestra.
working smart will always trump working hard. Now, working hard has to be done, sure. It's something that is immutable and it can't be avoided. But okay, so I box, right? I used to box before my injury. And there was a time when I was working hard in the ring all the time. I was trying to show how strong I was. And just boom, 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 shots, boom, 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 shots. One day I spar with this guy, maybe half my size, twice my speed. and one day, this guy, I couldn't touch him.
Yes.
Couldn't touch him. And I'm trying to muscle him, I'm trying to show him how much I know about my strength and my speed and my stamina and my boxing capability. Couldn't touch him. In the end, I said to him, how did that thing land on? What was all that you were doing? And he said to me, Daniel, it's because you, mate, were working too hard. You were working so hard that you were so busy working hard that you didn't see me working smart. All I did was step to the side, move this, pivot off that.
Jab.
And he said, for all of the effort for every punch that you landed, I landed 10. Why? Because I worked smart. And what is the byproduct of working smart? He asked me, and I said, I don't know. He said, efficiency and effectiveness.
So what's funny about that is when you walked in this morning, that's what you do with my clients.
Yeah.
Same thing, being efficient, not just
Being efficient and effective, because not every punch has to be a bang. And I looked at that and I thought, because you know what, boxing for me is one of these things that you can use as an analogy for life. And I thought, if that is the case, if that can be the case in something as simple as boxing, because boxing is quite technical. It's, there's this thing, somebody's trying to hurt you, but actually it's more psychological than anything. So it's elegant, it's quite simple, but complex at the same time. The simple premise of work smart and don't work hard, you become better at the thing that you're trying to do. That must be able to be applied in other aspects, other facets of life.
Does that not? So isn't there a balance? Because I preach this as well, which is basically, I put it in a balanced way, which is work hard but work smart, which is basically dedicate yourself to your craft. Put in the hours, but in those hours, don't count the hours. Make hours count.
The thing is, hard work has to be done.
Yes.
This is I said it before. There's no way around it. It's got to be done. Hard work is the baseline from which you operate. It's immutable. It's unavoidable. It's incontestable. It's unassailable. It's undeniable. You have to work hard, but that's the baseline. Working smart, you've got to now use the hard work to now work smart. It's when somebody tells you to just work hard and focus on working hard, that's when you're dealing with somebody who's trying to distract you away from something. Because if you imagine the mouse in the mouse wheel, is working so damn hard and is not going anywhere. How many people are like that? How many people are working hard, giving it everything, and they're not going anywhere?
So if someone comes to me and says, work hard, I see it as, you want me to work hard in your mouse box.
Yeah.
Because the more hard work I do, the more energy I give to your company.
Well, yeah, exactly.
So In me working hard, that's you working smart.
Exactly. You're so busy working. I've gotten you so busy working hard over here.
Yes.
That you are too busy working hard to see me working smart over there. You know, there's a meme that I saw online which made me laugh. And it was a picture of a guy standing next to like a really nice, sharp Ferrari-looking type sports car or something. And underneath it said the employee. It's clearly a boss, and the employee says to the boss, "That's an amazing car. That's a beautiful, stunning, fantastic car." And then the boss replies, and it's all in caption. The boss replies, "Oh, thank you. And you know, with a couple of years hard work and grifting and really sacrificing and dedication, I could get another that you give to me. You could get me another one. I could buy another one," is what you're saying. So your hard work will help me get another. So you know, I can't remember who it was that said hard work is the drug that they use, that people tell you to sedate you to keep you in place.
It is. It actually is.
You know, because when you work, we've all been. I think part of the reason is because we live in what is supposed to be a meritocratic society, right? So you're gonna become successful based off of your merit, and on paper that's a very good. It looks good. It looks amazing, but the reality is, nepotism trumps meritocracy 1,000 to 1. You're more likely to get work or success or something based off of who you know. That doesn't mean that you won't. That doesn't mean that you can't work hard or you won't work hard. But also, there's too many examples of people who've worked hard and not seen the fruits of their labor. Do you know what I mean? And those people far outweigh the people who worked hard and become successful.
So it's not what you do.
It's not just what you, not just who you know, but how you know them. You know. So, and these are the things that we didn't learn. I didn't know any of this stuff because I was still focused on, you know, working hard.
But remember though, we didn't know these things because the ones who raised us did not know.
Well, yeah.
Because you cannot teach what you don't know.
No.
You can't teach someone about taxes if you don't know about taxes.
Yeah.
You can't teach someone about finances if you don't know or do anything you know like about finances. You know, so it's like that. It's the same as like personal training. Right. You cannot be a good personal trainer if you know nothing. Like you can't just YouTube personal training. Oh, you know, I'm a PT now. It's not work. You know. So what's it like for you being a personal trainer and your clients? This is it's a fragile thing, right? To talk about what you never talk about because you can have 20 clients, but every single client is different. What's the similarity with most clients?
The similarity with most clients, there's a lack of motivation, internal motivation. Because for the most part, you might have. Let's say you've got 20 clients. Probably 6 of those clients will have the internal motivation enough to be able to really achieve their goals. The rest will probably just want you for other things. Because remember, you're not just a personal trainer, you're their friend, you're their advisor, you're their confidant, your life coach. You're a therapist. You're a therapist, you know, your cheap therapy. You as a personal trainer, you probably will be privy to more things personal relating to your clients than other people would see, especially if you go to their homes. I mean,
right?
You know, I used to go to a lot of clients' homes, and you then suddenly become witness to a lot of things that you wouldn't have seen had they just come to the gym.
No way.
that's what it is, you know. So the similarities is it's lack of motivation. That's not all of them. That's the majority. But in some cases, you do get people with good enough motivation to achieve their goals.
You say that, right? I like to say this. I say, I don't want to call it PT or personal. What I call it intimate training. But it's true. It's true because it goes beyond personal training. Because most people say, get a PT, get a trainer, because they're actually a cheaper therapist. They are cheaper than the other. Because it's cheaper than therapy because you as a client, you're talking to your trainer about your personal, intimate things. 2, as you are telling them what's going on in here, you're also working on the physical. 3, as you're doing the mental and the physical, they're also giving you advice on dietary. So as a PT, you're hitting them on the mental, dietary, and the physical level, right? All 3 levels, which most therapists don't do. So you get the 1, 2, 3. 4, there's actually an intimacy between you and the clients. Because they feel that they can come to you and tell you anything. So now there's a bond.
I think I think probably not necessarily intimacy. I think it's more probably trust. There's a great level of trust and bonding as opposed to intimacy, because intimacy is physical, isn't it? Okay. And I think, but having said that, the bond and the trust can lead to that level of intimacy, because, and that's the danger. That's the danger, because people suddenly trust you, they like you, they want you to be part of their lives, they invite you to things. As I said, you might become privy to certain things that most people wouldn't be privy to. As a personal trainer, there's a danger of a client maybe being attracted to you and or maybe falling in love with you or something like that, because there's that bond, there's that trust, and you've seen them at their worst and at their best. So
you accept them at the worst and the best.
Yeah, and so there's that bond, there's that trust, and they feel like they can ask you certain things or maybe reveal certain things. I remember when I first started training, there was a personal trainer that said to me, look, you're gonna get a lot of women that will feel a certain type of way because you're training them and there's a trust, the bond. Don't sleep with them. And I remember thinking, what? Wow, let's sleep with the client. And I remember he said to me, because it's such an easy barrier to cross, because there's that level of trust and bond. And he gave me a quote that I will never forget. He said, don't try and get into their pants. You're not trying to get into their pants, you're trying to get into their pockets. And I thought, okay, you know what? That's probably something that I should keep to myself. But even then, I get what he means. I get what he meant. You're not trying to be anything more than just providing a service.
What have you seen in your decade-long experience between?
There has been a decade, over a decade.
Between male clients and female clients.
Well, this kind of circles back to what the person said to me about, trying to get in their pants, trying to get in their pockets. Personal training business is fueled. The majority of personal training money business is fueled by women. More women sign up with personal trainers than men. Yeah. When I had my clients, I remember I had 20, 23, 24 clients. About 18 were women. And that wasn't intentional. That was just the way it was, because for the most part, men don't like the idea of being trained. Men don't like the idea of unless it's like fighting, unless it's like specifically getting ready for a combat, men don't mind listening to other men
For combat.
for combat purposes.
Right.
But when it's generally working out, lifting weights, squatting, fitness, the majority is mainly women, and because of that, you have to really know how to behave around women. You have to know how to talk and be respectful, and because remember, you're providing a service, and you can't really be all like how me and you are, like, yeah, what up, man? You want some whip it? No. You gotta be respectful. You gotta be approachable. You gotta be discerning, aware, all of this stuff. And the reason why that is because it's very easy to put a woman off.
See, but that goes back to what I did about a few weeks ago with the whole Kevin Samuels thing over again, which is the masculine and feminine, the male circles, and the female circles. Is basically, and thing is, I fall into that as well regularly. So I'm usually surrounded by men who are constantly fighting, constantly in combat, constantly in the war zone, constantly, you know, in that combat. So it's always like, it's always verbally abusive. But it's male banter. Right? It's just how it is. We call ourselves names, this, that, and the third, insult ourselves. We're very direct, straight to the point, which is basically, no, you messed up, no, you fucked up, no, you did this, you ain't shit, we throw it away. Now, I have to be, as a leader, I have to be conscious about the way I speak when there are women around, because it's not the same banter.
No,
it's not the same verbiage. It's not the same thing. Because the men around me who are constantly in a war zone, right? They need a challenge. They need that. You're not doing it right. They need that shout, that push, that anger. They need that testosterone, right? That makes sense. But now, when it comes to the other side of it, if I approach the women with that thing, they can't take it.
Well, no, because
it comes out as offensive.
Exactly. I mean, I hear you with the male clients. I mean, when I'm training my guys, I don't necessarily get maybe as loud and aggressive as you. Because for me, I always look at it from a psychological point of view. I deal with it very pragmatically, and I look at it and I use logic, and I say, guys, this is what it is. Simple. I don't need volume. I don't need. If it's true, it will work. If it's not true, it won't work. So I'm not going to shout to you at it. So let's practice. If it works, there you go. Repeat. Now with women, I can't be that. So what I am with men, you could argue, is stern. You know, quite straightforward and not necessarily loud and aggressive. Just very straight. Whereas with women, I have to be very aware and considerate, and maybe soften my sternness, and maybe be a little bit lighthearted, and maybe attempt to make them smile and enjoy it more.
Maybe
because
you smile as well.
Yes, because that how they perceive it is, oh, he doesn't like me, and then what am I training for? And you know what I mean? So like I said, when I had my clients, I had 18 women, and for the most part, I had to be friendly, open, affable, approachable, charming, friendly. When I got with my guys, I didn't have to be charming, affable. I just had to be straight talking and stern.
Now, I like how you put that. What's even interesting is that even the guys who are not, so obviously we still get guys who are not in combat zone, right? They're the ones that you don't shout at. You're like the ones that you talk to. They're the 6:30. Okay, guys, we're doing this. cool, awesome. Now the ones, it was interesting. The ones who are constantly in combat zone, when you talk to them that way, you're like, I don't need that. I need this.
Maybe.
You see how it goes?
I get it, but maybe it's because they're so used to you shouting.
No,
No?
actually, no, it's not. That's what's weird. It's like the ones who are not used to me shouting, when I come out, you're like, well, don't do this. They don't respond over.
They don't respond. Okay. Because they need almost like a drill sergeant. They need
They need the Leonidas.
All right. Okay. Right.
They need the one in the front going,
Yes, Sparta.
They need that.
Okay. They need the lion's roar.
There you go.
They need the lion's
They need Lions Roar to know
Okay.
that, okay, that
All right. Okay.
the
okay.
pride is ready.
All right. Gotcha.
Because if I went, you take her women,
Yeah.
you insult our children,
Yeah.
this is madness. No, I'm like, this is Sparta.
Yeah.
It does not work.
It doesn't have the same way.
It does not. You say, hi guys, so tonight, they say, tonight we will dine in hell.
It's true.
There's no vibe in that.
I mean, what you're talking about there is rousing of the spirit. Rousing. I get that, especially for combat. I mean, I suppose maybe for me, I'm very easy, and I always do things from a calm thing. But that doesn't mean that
you have it.
I don't have the rousing of spirit,
there.
because you know what I mean? Like, my rousing of spirit might not be somebody shouting at me or saying, come on. It might just be something as simple as I could be listening to some music, and that music could be something as some cinematic score that sounds incredible, some kind of drum, some, and I'm like, right, let's go. Do you know what I mean? Like, something like that. So, for example, when I'm doing my runs, I have to have music on. I can't listen to the world, but when I'm running and then I've got my playlist going and then Rocky comes on, there's two. He said no. Well, when I hear Rocky, which one is it? Is it Eye of the Tiger? He said no. When I hear that one, I get extra energy. I go, right, let's do it.
Is it the acapella version?
Eye of the Tiger.
You want to hear that? You want to hear
the acapella?
The acapella it hits here harder.
Right.
Because you just hear the rising up.
Yeah.
Boom. Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Or another one. Mano.
Yeah.
You remember my name.
You're gonna remember my
Yeah.
name.
Well,
Dude, that's my playlist.
Yeah. So it's like when he says, such and such cold or hot, blah 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 blah. You gonna remember? And when I hear that, I'm like, right, another extra 2 minutes, another extra 2. You're gonna remember my. Do you know what I mean? So again, it's all about what rouses the spirit, and what you're talking about with the guys who are ready to battle. They, like you said, they need that rousing, and it could be that they respond to the shouting and the. You know what I mean? Whereas
pre-workout.
Yeah, pre-workout. Whereas for me, I'm hearing the music, something like Mano, and I'm like, you're gonna remember my name. Let me give you some fucking extra. You know what I mean? That extra, and that, and suddenly when it comes on, I'm tired. I'm like, I want to stop. And then it comes on, when it's cold or hot, and I'm like, right, let's fucking get it. You know what I mean? Because it's just, I was just about to press stop on the fucking treadmill, or I give up on the outside. But then I'm like, right, come, and that's what the rousing of the spirit is. It's something that gets you going. So, yeah, sure, but you can't. And I think women do have that as well.
They do.
They
I see as well.
Yeah. Like, but it might not be the same. Like mine might be Rocky and Mano, right? Whereas the missus, hers might be, she's a maniac on the.
She dances.
When she hears that, she's like,
Ah,
right. She's like, when she hears it, she's like, right, I'm a maniac. You know what I mean? And I'm like, when I hear that song, I'm like, that's garbage. Let me just change that track. That can't do it. But my missus, when she hears that, she's like, yes, I'm a maniac. I want to give it. And I'm like, all right, you're a maniac. Yeah, but you see what I'm saying? Everybody has their own kick, their own thing that helps them into it, you know.
I say this on a regular basis, that about masculinity and femininity. It's not about men versus women. It's actually about the masculine and the feminine and how it attracts the other. Because many men are very, very masculine, but it does not mean that they don't have feminine side.
Oh yeah, there's feminine men, there's very feminine men and there's very masculine women.
Exactly, and it's because same thing. So there are men out there that are feminine and women that are very masculine. Because it's like saying I'm a man, therefore I have only testosterone. That's not true. I have testosterone and estrogen in different percentages.
Yeah.
Women have estrogen and testosterone in different percentages.
Yeah.
It just is what it is. Simple as that. So you get the men who need that lion's roar, and it works. But they also get the men, whereas like when you give them the lion's roar, they get turned off. Like, no, mate, it's not for me. Then you get the women who go, okay, that's not for me. You also have the women who need that lion's roar, like, nah, I need that, which is what it is. So we don't admonish them, we don't let anything say, this is what it is. People work, respond differently to the way you teach and train. This is a decade worth of training. It shows. So it's like you kind of have to
know how to adapt.
You have to learn your people. Because I say this as well, in learning you teach, in teaching you learn. Hence why I always bark about the learn, teach, inspire, grow.
Well, you're probably, as a personal trainer, you're probably the best thing that you can probably do, not just get your personal training qualification, but also to read up a lot on psychology. Because psychology, I mean, I'm pretty well read on psychology, but psychological, I mean, even sports psychology. Like, why does a person do an individual sport, and why does a person do a group sport? You know, like, why do I box? Because I don't like the idea of giving. Is it a control thing? I think it is. I like the idea of there's no other person to blame but myself if I don't do well. Whereas in a team sport, you could argue, okay, well, I like working in a group, I like working with others, and I like working to achieve a goal, and not everything might not be completely on me, but I work together and we all come together to achieve this thing. There are a lot of people who have that, you know, like you try to get somebody to do an individual sport like boxing versus a team sport like rugby. You'll find there are more people that want to do team sports like rugby than individual sports. So again,
it's a niche.
Yeah, they're circling back to the sports psychology. So I reckon, as a personal trainer, you're probably better off studying quite a bit of psychology as well.
You do need that.
Yeah.
You need that because it helps with the locus of control. There's a lot of people who actually do all these sports. Okay, some people who are active in these sports and compete on a high level, and I see this and I say this often, is as much as people fear losing, a lot of people actually fear winning. They're afraid to win because winning would mean that their life changes. Winning would basically mean that you have to get up at 4 a.m. for the next 2 to 3 years to run again. It would mean you have to change your address. It would mean you have to do everything. It would mean you become more famous, and fame is not for everyone. Because winning could mean more responsibilities. Winning could mean change, and a lot of us fear change. changing our mind, our dynamic, our lifestyle, everything, changing our beliefs. It's quite scary sometimes. That's what I tend to notice and see in things, just the importance of sports psychology and sports therapy. Because I have people who are out there in the gym, they perform. In the gym, they do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, not 3, 5, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1,000 times, 1, 2, 3. They do 1 through 3 in their sleep. When it's time to perform on the big stage, all they have to do is 1, 2, 3. But they go 1, 2, and there's that pause in the moment that those with the eye can see that you know you can do 3, or you don't do 3. Because if you do 3, you're gonna win. But you don't want to. You want to just take part and say, at least I tried.
I don't know if I've seen that. I mean, that's interesting, because for me, what I've seen is people want to win, but they don't know how. And I mean, what I've seen is everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to, but they want the easy route. So, for example, I want the beach body, but I don't want to work out for 6 weeks. So, for example, like I had a client that came up to me one time and said, she brought out a picture. She said, I'm going on holiday in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
I said, okay, cool. She goes, here's what I want to look like.
In 2 weeks.
Yeah. So I asked her the usual. I said, so how old are you? She was like late 30s. I said, when was the last time you trained? 10 years ago.
Late 20s.
Yeah, and I said, right, so what is your drinking? Do you drink? Yes. Do you smoke? Used to. Done drugs? Sure. When was the last time how active are you? All the usual questions.
Basics, the ones.
And I said to her, here's what's going to happen. Do you want the truth? Or do you want the truth? And she said, well, obviously I want the truth that you've shaken your head with. And I said, well, everybody thinks they do, but until they hear it, because I said, the truth is, in about 2 weeks, that's the warm-up. I said, it will take about 6 weeks before your body realizes what's happening. And then, because the way the body works is, it starts to change from the inside out, not the outside in. So what you see on the outside is a result of what's going on internally. So any person that you see that's fit, strong, lean, toned, fit, in shape, shredded, they have been grifting and grafting, unless they're genetic freaks, because there are those. But they have been grifting, grafting, and working at it for so long that the body has adapted to the stress that the individual has put their body on.
I like what you said, so long.
So when you see somebody who's ripped, unless they're a genetic freak, that person has been grifting, has been grafting, and the body has adapted to that. So in the end, all you're seeing is somebody who's just adapted, whose body is just adapted. So with that in mind, I said to her, look, the reality is it's going to take about 6 weeks for your body to respond. And she gave me some attitude. She said, look, can you change my body? Can I get this in 2 weeks, or do I take my money elsewhere? And I said to her, it's probably best that you take your money elsewhere, but here's the thing, you won't get where you want to be even if you take your money elsewhere. The only thing is, I'm just being honest with you, because I don't want to actually steal your money. I want to help you. But the only way I can help you is to be truthful.
Certain sections of the orchestra, as heard from those positions. Now, when played back simultaneously on 2 separate systems, the sounds are blended together to achieve a new dimension of sound impossible to obtain in a monaural recording.
So they wouldn't. But what I was saying is, the reason why I brought that up is because it's to give the example of people want to win, but they don't want to work, and it's a bit of a opposite of what you said, that people don't want to win. I'm like, I think people want the win, they just don't want the work. Same thing with something like marriage. People want the wedding, but they don't want the marriage, because marriage takes work. they want the wedding because there's cake and there's dresses and people paying attention to you all day. But the marriage itself is the thing.
That also goes back to what I was harking on a while back. I say this in a quite controversial way, but dating leads to divorce. I say dating leads to divorce, so we tend to compare our things just on a general basis. Most times we're comparing our current partner with our previous partner. So why I say to people like it's not good to date tons of people if you are not in a steady mindset, if you're not ready for something. Don't just go out there and be dating everyone else, because you're gonna date people. Your first person you meet, person A, you like person A's head, and then person B, you like person B's cooking. Person C, you like person C's personality. So now when you get to person D is an individual, but you don't see them as an individual. You want them to have person A's head, person B's cooking, person C's personality. So in doing all that, you don't see how good person D is, which now makes like you said, the wedding and the marriage hard. The wedding is nice because what you get on the outside, but on the inside you don't get anything.
But I think that's probably more like a personal flaw as opposed to, because when I broke up with a girl that I had been with for about 3 years, I went out knowing that I just wanted to have some fun. I had no interest in anybody calling me boyfriend, or I mean there were a few that were like, oh, your boyfriend? No. But this is pure Daniel having some me time. Let's have some fun. Let's get some, physical fun in there. Do all kinds of weird, crazy things. But boyfriend, I'm not having it. And it took about 1.5 years before I was now ready to say, actually, now there's somebody that I'm looking at and I feel. And then when we got together, she judged me as a potential suitor. I judged her as a potential suitor as well. And I thought, okay, could this work?
Was it a situation of like at first sight?
Oh yeah, she was hot. We were.
It the one that she just hung around and you were like,
Oh no. It was attraction at first sight.
That's just physical.
Yeah, that was attraction, but the attraction has to be there. So let's not pretend. It was attraction at first sight, but then after that, but I don't stay just because she's pretty, but exactly. Because if all you got is, if all you're bringing to the table is your looks, then you're not bringing too much. Because I've been there, I've done it, I've seen the badge. I've hot girls, pretty model, dancer, figure, sexy figure. I've seen that all down. You can go out on any Friday and Saturday night and get that. But what I now look for is, okay, I'm physically attracted to you, but are you intelligent? Do you have hopes and dreams and ambitions, aspirations? Do you, I play chess. Do you like to play chess? What was the last book you read? Can you read? Do you like to cook? I like to cook. Let's cook something together.
Right.
Yeah. Shall we cook something together? Do you like to go for walks? Oh, I like dogs. Do you like dogs? Do you know what I mean? We want to look for as many, as much compatibility as possible. Not necessarily 100% compatible, but just enough so that we can go in the same direction.
Close enough situation.
Yeah. Like she's got some music that I can't stand. I'm like, babe, you need to take that shit somewhere else. And then when she wants to watch some of the garbage on TV, I'm like, let me go and read my book. But there's enough compatibility there, enough so that when we go, we head in the same direction together. We've got the same values, we've got the same ideals, but within those similarities, there's a level of difference that we both have.
Nice. So, are you saying that? I like what you said, because that's pretty well said. But is what you said, like the qualities that you're looking for in a partner, is that a sort of thing that you think most quality men look for in women? Because I say quality because now here's what it is. Like
Define quality, yeah.
Thank you. So quality men basically is men who are on their square, men who are on the point, men who are what's the word? Who are positive image to the community, men who are a part of the world out there, men who basically make the world better by them just being the quality men. Does that make sense?
I get it. I get the quality definition. I just don't agree with it, and here's why.
Well, I'm not saying high value.
No, but not high value. But I think quality man, I think every man has the potential to be a quality man.
There you go.
It depends on the qualities that man has. What, a quality man for woman A might not be the same quality man for woman B. It depends on what this is what I mean by aligning the level of compatibility and alignment and stuff. So yeah.
Quality man is not for the woman. That's what I'm saying. So a quality man is a man who actually makes his community and society a bit better than just being there. So it's not a quality man for a woman.
Oh, right.
So you mean being a quality man, like example.
You mean somebody who's just a functioning in society?
Oh yeah.
Right.
Your presence in my gym makes my gym better.
Right.
You're a quality man.
Okay, well, I'd say that's
what I say.
Well, I'd say I've added. I would say that I'm not necessarily quote unquote a quality man, but
I would say that to you.
Right.
I wouldn't. So you wouldn't call you an alpha male.
No, I'm not an alpha.
There you go.
Because I know
you wouldn't call yourself. You wouldn't call yourself a chief.
No.
I would.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Right. Okay.
That's what.
So my perception versus your perception. Right. Okay.
There you go.
Got you.
I wouldn't walk around going,
Yeah.
It's.
I got you.
If you have to call yourself the king, you are not the king.
You're not the king. So in that sense, with that definition, what was it with women? What was the question?
So as a man who, as
that
men,
quality man,
men who are that quality, which is basically their presence gives to the community.
Right. Okay.
They do for the community. So basically, they are good men.
Right. Good
right?
men. Good men.
What do you think good men are looking for in women?
I'm
asking because I know many a woman who want a man that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but they don't know what those men want.
Yeah.
So the women want these men, but have no clue what these men want because these men are not telling them what they want. So this platform is to let the women know, okay, this is what quality men are looking for.
Quality men are looking for.
That's my point. So what would you think? Because I say my piece every time and never like, wrong, cats, whatever.
Yeah.
What would you think? What would you say that quality men are looking for in women?
Hey, first of all, every man and every woman is different. So every tomato, what's good for the goose might not be good for the gander. However.
On my chest.
Let me just get that out.
However.
Let me just get that. However,
I like that.
Speaking from my own personal point of view, because that's the only thing that I can use, my own reference point, and the other men that I do know, what we looked for when we were young, I think is the same as what women think we're still looking for as we're older. So this is why you get a lot of women now on social media showing their bits and things, because they think, I mean, there will be men that will respond, sure, but for the most part, when you're a teenage boy, you're looking for the boobs, the arse, the thighs, because it's good. That's what you're thinking about. Remember, we talked about looks.
That's what you know.
That's all you know. But as you get older, once you've had enough boobs, once you've had enough thigh, and had enough experience in that area, you then start to question, what else? What, as I said, if all you're bringing to the table is the way you look, then you're not bringing too much. Because if your looks is what is driving the relationship, then the relationship is already on tempestuous ground. Me and the missus, we sit down, we have debates, we have discussions. We don't necessarily agree with each other. Like I said, we play chess. For me, she's hot. And, I was like, damn, I'm going to say this. But we play chess. We talk business. We talk politics. We talk science, geography, physics. We talk psychology, sociology, philosophy. We sit down and we go through, we have a relationship where we can discuss a swath of projects and topics and subjects, and it makes everything interesting because that no one discussion is the same. But at the same time, we can go, and the other week we went quad bike racing. Do you know what I mean? And then on top of that, I know that when the shit hits the fan, when the time comes when we need to throw down and fuck some people up, she's got my back. Do you know what I mean? She's got my back. I know that this is a woman that's in my corner, no matter what. What is that saying? What is it? The ride or die? Yeah. She is my ride or die. She's got my back. And when I say got my back, I mean I'm talking physically.
This is why.
Physically, psychologically, emotionally, financially. When business wasn't going good for me, she was like, baby, I got you. And then on top of that, when we got together, we were both going through our own stuff. And she said to me, it was like two wild animals that came together. Because I always tell people we fought for our relationship. We had fights. We had to fight for our relationship. And then after all the fighting was done, all the dust was settled, we looked at each other like, you're tough, you can handle this, all right, let's go. Because, that's what it was. We've been through similar things, and so when I sit down and I have a bit of a query, I'm like, babe, there's something bugging me. We'll sit down, we'll talk about it. We'll say, what are the pros and cons? What are this? She's the person that said to me when I had nothing, don't worry, I got you, I'm with you. Daniel, I like you. Not just who you are, but who I think you could be. Remember, I got no money in the bank. The career was stalling. I was destitute. I was a bum. And she comes along, she says, I like who you are. So when I look at that, I go, this is a person who saw past all my life failings, saw past where I was in life at that time. But she saw my mind, and she saw that she could get on with me. And then years down the line, we're now quote unquote thriving. She's my partner. We're 8 years in, and it's like it still feels fresh. It still feels, because like I said, we talk about so many different things, and we laugh, we get angry at each other, and then we cry, and then we watch a movie. I watched Top Gun the other week with her.
Maverick, right?
Yeah, Maverick, and I was suddenly catapulted back to my little I was feeling emotional, and then something happens with Maverick, and then something happens with Iceman, and I'm blubbering, I'm a mess, and the missus is laughing at me, but I know that she's not laughing at me you look at you simp. She's laughing at me because she knew that I was enjoying this, and this thing was something that made me feel nostalgic and happy. And these are the many things that we have that make our relationship what it is. We are highly compatible because there's so many things that we have, and so many values that are heading in the same direction.
See, I like what you said that, because your partner sounds like a sapiosexual. turned up by the mind.
Yeah, she's sapiosexual. Yeah. She doesn't like she like she likes rap, and she loves rap music, and she can sit and listen to a whole documentary about the Wu-Tang Clan and things like that, because she thinks and I agree with her, that these guys are geniuses. Their intelligence level is so fascinating, so she'll watch that. But she won't listen to somebody going, yo, what up, man? Yo, yeah. She'll be like, no, get out.
No, see, I like that, because I actually sat down for a minute and I broke that down. Here's one I don't like. See, I called her your partner, right? I don't like the term boyfriend and girlfriend.
No, I stopped that.
Yeah, exactly, because
we're not children.
We're not children.
No.
You're not a boy, she's not a
No,
girl.
she's my partner.
And a partner is someone that's like you said, ride or die. Just got you no matter what, no matter how, no matter where.
To cut you off, sorry to cut you off. Just to say, just bouncing off the got me no matter what. I didn't get to the physical. There was a bit in 2017 when I got sick, and I'd been bedridden for 3 days. Just to give you an example of who this woman is that I'm with, I'd been bedridden for 3 days. And I just had this bug. I don't know what it was. It fucked me up. And then suddenly out of nowhere, I started getting a nosebleed. So I'm like, what the fuck is this nosebleed? What is this? Just profusely coming out. So immediately, Mrs., get up, let's go to the bathroom. And I'm like, okay, get up, let's stem this bleeding nose. And remember, I've been bedridden for 3 days, and what happens when you're bedridden? Your blood is not coagulating, it's baseline, it's at the bottom. And I stood up quickly.
Oh, snap.
So suddenly, I'm at the bathroom, and I'm just passing out, right? Remember, I've lost all this blood also. And also, I stood up too quickly, and I'm passing out. My vision just minimized, and it was like my hearing, almost like I was wearing headphones, and I was just sinking. This woman, in a heartbeat, instinctively grabs me under the arms and props me up and lowers me to the floor. And when I come back, I'm sweating, and I said to her, "Are you okay?" And she said, "Yeah, babe, I'm good. Are you?" Now that's a woman who's got me. Do you see what I'm saying? That's a woman who's got me. And that's why we're together 8 years, and that's why I hope to be with her for another 80 years. That's why when I see girls walking down the street, short skirt, boobs, thighs, all sexy, trying to create interest, I say, yeah, that's nice. And if I was 18, I probably would have chased, but I'm not 18, and I've got somebody that at home who literally has got me. You know what I mean? So that I just wanted to put that in there just to give you an idea of who this woman is. You know what I mean?
And that, ladies and gentlemen,
Whereas
it's not how much you can twerk.
no, how much you can twerk. I can't.
The sexual beats.
Oh my God, I can't handle the twerking beat. I'm seeing so much ass and breasts. I'm bored of it. When I see videos online, boobs and breasts.
Okay.
I'm like, another one.
It's not ladylike.
Yeah, it's not necessarily. Yeah, I mean, I always find it funny when I see these videos with these girls. You know, maybe they're on Instagram or something, and they're showing boobs and they'll tell you, this is how I express myself. All right, sure, but at the same time, you can say you're a child of God, and I'm like, okay.
Oh, my throat!
all right. And listen.
To God be the glory.
Again. It's not for me to judge. I'm not trying to take anything away from that person. If that's how you feel, sure, go for it. But it's everywhere. It's everywhere, and I don't look at a woman now and go, oh my God, boobs, damn, yo. Yeah, I go, oh, that's nice. But the first thing I ask is, where's her mind at? Where's her mind? Is she okay? Is she intelligent? Can she have a discussion? or is it boobs, ass? And then a lot of these girls call themselves boss ass bitches, and I'm like, I only learned that term about a year ago. I'm like, what is a boss ass bitch? What is that? I don't know what that is. And now everybody's a boss ass bitch, but that's how they roll. And I'm like, all right, well, can you talk about philosophy, geography? Can you talk business? Maybe you can talk business. I don't know. Maybe a lot of
what
these.
What kind of business?
Yeah,
That's the question.
I don't know. Maybe a lot of these boss ass bitches maybe can talk business, but I need to know that I can have a plethora of discussions with you in order for us to have some level of compatibility that may not actually be physically intimate, but we can sit down and we can talk. Like, look what we just did in this car. We talked about a swath of subjects. We went through one thing, came to another, came back this, because that's, shows signs of at least some kind of intelligence.
You know what I say? Make it simple. I kind of go to the root of everything. I say, because women who are looking for men, I say, I'll make it quite simple for you. What men want from you are two things: cooperation and communication.
Yes.
As in, to simplify it.
Well, yeah.
Before we start, okay, this is the front door.
Yeah.
Cooperation, communication, which is what, if you are a boss ass B, no problem, but you and your partner just cannot seem to get along or just do a task together or talk.
What is the well? That's the thing though. A lot of women today, what I've seen with friends and online, and with a lot of women want the house ready made to move in.
Don't cook just
yeah, right. They want the house ready made to move in. It's rare to come across a woman who says, "Let me build with you."
It's also rare to come across a man who has made everything and then meet you and say, you know what, I'm gonna give you, stranger, all I've worked for the past 20 years.
That's I think that's just the way it's been for so long with men and women in the dynamic. I mean, my mother was a person who went with my father because my father had money. So I think that's just part of the general programming of people. Men are meant to have money and they're meant to take care of women. And I just gave myself an example. I was broke as shit, and my woman comes along and says, "Baby, I got you." Her trust in me, her love of me, and her willingness to show me that she's got my back is what brought me up out of my difficult situation. But if I had met one of these girls that I'm a boss ass bitch, I don't date no man with no car, I mean, what is that song? I mean, I find it interesting that Kevin Samuels mentioned it, because I've always said this. That song, I Don't Want No Scrubs. Great song. Wicked track. Banger. But it did damage, because there was a lot of women that would look at men that was like me back then and say, "You're a scrub. You're a scrub. You ain't doing shit for me." And you know what? I was a scrub. I wasn't earning money. I was hanging out the side of my best friend's ride. You know what I mean? All that. I had nothing. And a lot of women. I remember women in my family were like, "Look at that! He's sweeping the street and he's doing this. He's doing that." So yeah, I was a scrub. But how many women saw past that, or able to see past that and say, "This is a man that his current situation isn't great, but I like him, and I like not just." It's like what I say with my missus: not just who you are, but who I think you could be. Not just who you are, but who I think you could be. And that helped me to come out of my scrub situation. But many women wouldn't have done that because they don't want no scrubs. They don't want the man sitting in his ride, in his best friend's ride, and doesn't. I met a girl who said, I ain't dating no man that doesn't have a 401k and doesn't have a such and such and has a house, because what they want is to move in. They want the what is it? What's it called? The concierge service. They want the what? Take your bags. Oh, this is where I'm staying now. Oh, this is nice. This is cool. And then so I've heard people say things like, some women say things like, well, what am I bringing to the table? What I'm bringing me to the table, or oh, I am the table, and it's like, that's not what my missus said. My missus said, Daniel, you and me, we're gonna do this together.
And then it goes in there, invades nests, and takes over the nest.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean, moving in. And if I had met a woman like that, I'll tell you what, if I had met a woman that was, I don't know, a boss ass bitch or whatever you want to call it, I don't like that term, but it's out there, so let's use it. If I had met a woman like that, I probably would have still been in the same position that I was.
That's why I said it too. Because we have met boss ass bitches for a very long time, but because the mind is not this way inclined, and you, like I said, quality man.
Yeah,
Your
sure.
mind is this way, so
But-
what happens is you don't find them attractive any way possible.
That's why I'm saying, if I had still been in the mindset of, oh, that girl's a boss ass bitch and she's hot, I'm gonna go with her, then I'd
Right.
probably still be in the same place.
Mm.
Whereas I'm like, done the boss ass bitch or the sexy girl with the great thighs and the lips and the whatever. Here's this girl who I am attracted to, and I even tried to convince her. I said, look, I don't have anything for you. I can't take you out on dates. I ain't got. At the time, I didn't have my home. I can't.
Why are you with me?
I said, I was trying to convince.
Why
I said,
are you
I said,
with
I said to her, babe, I've got nothing for you, and she still said, I like who you are, and I like who I think you could become. And we're almost 10 years in. And honestly, I see hot girls all the time, and I'm like, yeah, but I got this one at home. So
That's reality. The man is gonna look for me.
oh yeah, we're gonna look.
But not look like stare and glare. No.
Yeah.
It's obvious. A woman's gonna walk past that. looks
Yeah.
good. And then with the men who are actually assets, like, oh, good for you.
Do
Oh, good on you, and that's it.
you know? The mark of a man isn't how much money he has. The mark of a man is how well he's able to control his basic instincts. Food, women, when we look at young boys and they get the surge of testosterone, they want to do one or two things, if not both. They either want to fight or fuck. And because they're young, they will act on those impulses.
Yes, true.
When you get older, the impulse to fight or fuck is still strong, but you learn how to control it, or you learn how to channel it somewhere. So the impulse to fight, you can't be fighting on road and just getting into beef, because you're going to get in trouble. So maybe find a positive outlet, i.e. let's go to a combat school, let's go boxing, or maybe get into a sport. Okay, you want to fuck, you can't just go and grab a girl and fuck. Who does that?
I'm gonna say, yeah.
You know what I mean? Who does that?
Yes.
You've got to find a person, a woman that is feeling that way inclined towards you, with you, so you can share that experience together. Do you know what I mean? But the mark of a man is to be able to say to yourself, well, hold on, I'm in a relationship with somebody, I want to fuck that girl. You know what? Let me not fuck that girl, because fucking that girl would cause trouble in my home. That doesn't mean I can't appreciate the way the girl looks. She's sexy, yeah, attractive. But I've got a home to deal with. And then you got some of these guys that will say, oh, but an alpha male will go and do that. And then this is what I said to you one time, that, people don't know what an alpha actually is. If they actually read the dictionary, alpha is the first letter of the Greek alphabet, and that's the first definition. And then the second definition is psychological. The alpha, whoever the alpha is, it's got nothing to do with man or woman, good or bad, right or wrong, rich or poor. The alpha, whoever the alpha is whoever is at the top of the social hierarchy. That's the alpha. You know what I mean? Whoever is the boss, whoever is the one that calls the shots, the shot caller, the one in charge, that's the alpha. So when somebody's like, oh, I'm an alpha, so I sleep with a lot of girls, I'm like, really? You're an alpha? What are you the leader of? What are you the boss of? What, because you got big muscles and you're tall and you make a bit of money, you're not. That's not an alpha. You're a playboy. You're a muscular playboy.
You're a pickup artist.
Do you know what I mean? I'm telling you, you see some of these gangs in Brazil. The gang leader in Brazil, he's short. They're short, you know. And you see these guys ordering these big motherfuckers around, and you go, that guy is the alpha. And I think the same thing with the boss ass bitch thing. It's women attempting to be the alpha.
Yeah.
You know, again, they can be the alpha, but if you are an alpha, I met an alpha woman one time. This woman.
Yeah, I remember you told me.
This woman came in. This woman came in. It was a job that I was doing. She was like 5'3". This short, dusty, rusty looking woman with a dirty baseball cap and ripped jeans.
A white t-shirt.
She looked like she came like she comes in and because I was new to the job. All the guys that were bigger than me, 6'5", muscular, they jumped up, sat to attention, and I knew one of them, this guy called Martins, and I'm like, dude, why are you jumping for this little? She comes in and she's like, Martins, can you blah blah blah, and Martin's like, yeah, got it. And I said to Martins, what the fuck is wrong with you, bro? Why are you jumping around with this little thing? Bruv, when he turned around and he showed me the business that we were looking after, and showed me who the CEO was, the owner and the CEO, the founder, the co-founder, owner, and CEO. It was a picture of that little woman in the dirty baseball cap. She was the boss. She was the alpha. Yeah. And when I realized who she was, my whole demeanor changed. Suddenly I was like, hey, how you? This little 5'2" thing, because I realized, yo, she's the fucking boss. She's the alpha. So when everybody's calling themselves an alpha, for the most part, they don't actually know what it is. It's cute because everybody thinks it's about being muscular and being tall and having loads of women and being the alpha by definition is whoever is at the top of the social hierarchy. And if you're not at the top of it, whether that social hierarchy is 5 people or 5 million people, if you're not the one that's in charge, then you're not the alpha. So to bust your bubble, you know, a lot of people call themselves alpha, they don't even know what it is. Well, we covered a number of things in that.
We actually did. I'm gonna sign off now. Thank you for coming out today with me, Daniel.
No problem, bro.
Appreciate it.
Always a pleasure.
I'll say to everyone, it's been emotional. I'll see you on the other side.